Hare Krishna. Welcome to the ISKCON Portland Sunday morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. We will start with Mangalacharan prayers. I will share my screen for that. These are at the beginning of Bhagavad Gita as it is. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Maum Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So now we will recite the invocation verses for Srimad Bhagavatam. I will share that. So, as we get started, let us pay our obeisances and our deep gratitude to Sri Shukadev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj, and also Sri Sutta Goswami and Shaunakadi Rishi. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. Ashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shlokir Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Okay. So the verse for today is the next verse in our series, and that is Canto 1 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Chapter 11 and verse number 14. So 1, 11, 14. So as we have been hearing for a few weeks, Chapter 11 of Canto 1 is Lord Krishna's arrival or his entrance into Dwarka Dham. So, very beautiful description of Dwarka Dham is given, of Dwarka Dham Vasis is given, and their love and affection towards Lord Krishna is revealed through their jubilation, their happiness as Lord Krishna comes back to Dwarka Dham. So first we will recite the verse and then we will read the purport and have a discussion. So let me open the verse. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So I will recite the verse 2 or 3 times, and then maybe devotees can take turns to recite. सम्मार्जित महामार्ग रथ्य आपणक चत्वराम सिक्ताम गंधजलैरुक्ताम फलपुष्पक्षत अंकुरैः. So once again, सम्मार्जित महामार्ग रथ्यापणक चत्वराम सिक्ताम गंधजलैरुक्ताम फलपुष्पक्षत अंकुरैः. One more time. सम्मार्जित महामार्ग रथ्यापणक चत्वराम सिक्ताम गंध्यजलैरुक्ताम फलपुष्पाक्षत अंकुरैः. Would any devotees like to recite?
सम्मार्जिता महामार्ग रथ्यापणकचत्वरां सिक्तां गन्धजलैरुक्तां फलपुष्पाक्षताङ्कुरैः.
Beautiful, very nice. Anyone else? Radhakund Mataji, you always recite very sweetly. Would you like to?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for your kind words, Prabhu. Sammarjita Mahamarga Rathyapanaka Chatvaram Siktam Gandhajaleruttam Phala Pushpa Kshatankure. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, very nice. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Sammarjita Mahamarga Pratyapanaka Chatvaram Shiktam Gandhajalai Pala Pushpa Akshata Ankurai.
Very nice. Thank you, Prabhuji. Anyone else?
Samarjita Mahamarga Ratya Panaka Chatvaram Shiktam Gandha Jalairuptam Phala Pushpa Kure.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Okay, we shall then go into the synonyms or the word by word translations. Sammarjita, thoroughly cleansed. Mahamarga, highways. Rathya, lanes and subways. Apanaka, shopping marketplaces. Chatvaram, public meeting places. Siktam, moistened with. Gandha jalai, scented water. Uptam, was strewn with. Phala, fruits. Pushpa, flowers. Akshata, unbroken. Ankuraihi, seeds. So the translation is the highways, subways, lanes, markets, and public meeting places were all thoroughly cleansed and then moistened with scented water. And to welcome the Lord, fruits, flowers, and unbroken seeds were strewn everywhere. So once again, the verse is Sammarjita Mahamarga Rathyapanaka Chatvaram Siktam Gandhajalai Phalapushpakshata Ankuraihi. So Sammarjita Mahamarga. So Sammarjita means cleaning, and so marjana, cheto darpana marjanam We know that verse. Marjan means to clean. Cheto means of the heart. Darpana means the mirror. So marjanam means to clean, or we say gundicha marjana. So similarly, marjitam or sammarjita. Sam means very thoroughly, marjita, cleaning. Mahamarga, we understand Mahamarg very easily. It's a simple word. Mahamarg means the great path or whatever, highway. Rathya apanaka chatvaram. And then there is the lanes, the smaller lanes. Apanaka, so shopping places, and chatvaram, public meeting places. All these were gandha jalair siktam. So gandha jala means water, gandha means with sweet smell, gandha. Siktam means were all made, was moistened with the gandha jalair, with the sweet scented water. And what else was put around all these places, the marketplaces, the highways, the smaller roads, shopping places, everything was also decorated with phala, pushpa. Phala is fruits, pushpa is flowers, and akshata ankurai means whole seeds, not broken seeds, but whole seeds. So that is the breakdown of the verse. So sammarjita mahamarga rathyapanaka chatvaram siktam gandha jalairuktam phula pushpa kshatankurai. So as you can imagine, you can visualize in your mind, Dwarka city is almost like a huge metropolis with highways and things like that. I mean, of course, there were no Tesla cars or Mercedes cars, but there were probably big raths and big chariots and all those things. And there were smaller lanes and roads for the smaller ones and for walking and so on. And even there were shopping marketplaces and public meeting places. So seems like a very, very advanced, very well-planned, advanced city. And that's how it was. Lord Krishna had constructed Dwarka just through his imagination, through his will, and transported all the Mathuravasis to Dwarka to save them from all the attacks of Jarasandha. So Dwarka was created directly by Lord Krishna, and it was a beautiful city that got manifested, by the plan of the Lord. I was also reading recently in the Mahabharata, similarly, Indraprastha was manifested when on the advice of Vidurji, Bhishma Pitamaha and Dronacharya, finally Dhritarashtra agrees to give half the kingdom to the Pandavas. Then he gives the barren half kingdom where there was desert and absolutely nothing because there was a curse. I don't exactly remember all the details, but that whole land was cursed and it was barren. And Dhritarashtra very kindly and very generously gave half the kingdom, which was barren land, to the Pandavas. And of course, kept the better half of the land for himself and his sons. But Yudhishthir Maharaj, being Dharmaraj, very kindly accepted that and thanked his uncle Dhritarashtra and went there. But they had Lord Krishna on their side, and Lord Krishna manifested Indraprastha, a beautiful city which was much, much better than Hastinapur. And the Pandavas lived in Indraprastha. And then similarly, there's a nice description in Mahabharata how the city of Indraprastha developed. There were marketplaces, there were roads, and there were beautiful music theaters and playgrounds, and all these things were there, and all the craftsmen, artisans, everything started coming towards Indraprastha and became a very, very prosperous city. And that whole city was created by Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna arranged for its creation, and then ordered Vishwakarma, his chief engineer or chief, whatever, chief architect, to come and establish or execute the plan that Lord Krishna had. So Dwarka was similarly created. So that is one part of the purport. We realize how advanced, how modern this city of Dwarka appears to be from the description of Srimad Bhagavatam. The other part, at least that I realized on reading the translation and the verse, was the dedication of the devotees in decorating and cleaning the temple. So before we go there on that aspect, let us read the purport by Srila Prabhupada. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is describing the decoration and the beautification, everything that the devotees are doing with great dedication, with great love. So let us read that aspect before we go and discuss the cleaning and beautifying of the great metropolis city of Dwaraka. So purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charnarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Scented waters prepared by distilling flowers like rose and keoda. You might have all heard of keoda. I have heard. It's some kind of a herb, but gives very, very beautiful fragrance. And it's not only used to, scent the water that is, put on the roads, but it's even put in, I think it's even put in sweets and other eatables I don't know, even in various juices. Maybe one of the Matajis can tell. But keoda is a very famous and a very nice delicacy that is used for very good scent in the cooking as well, I think, if I'm not wrong. So like rose and keoda were requisitioned to wet the roads, streets, and lanes of Dwarka Dham. Such places, along with the marketplace and public meeting places, were thoroughly cleansed. From the above description, it appears that the city of Dwarka Dham was considerably big, containing many highways, streets, and public meeting places with parks, gardens, and reservoirs of water, all very nicely decorated with flowers and fruits. And to welcome the Lord, such flowers and fruits with unbroken seeds of grain were also strewn over the public places. Unbroken seeds of grain or fruits in the seeding stage were considered auspicious, and they are still so used by the Hindus in general on festival days. So that is the Akshata Ankura, the unbroken seeds. So as we can see here from the purport, Srila Prabhupada is describing that Dwarka Dham is a big metropolis, and it was very nicely decorated by the devotees. So in the decoration part, there are two aspects. First, the aspect is that of the cleaning. So sammarjita, that is the decoration, the cleaning part. And then comes the decoration part, which is all that is described, like Siktam Gandha Jalair and Uptam Phala Pushpak Shata Ankurai. So those are the items that are described for decoration. In other verses, various other things are described, like with flags and various leaves and all the other decoration items were described in the other verses. So the cleaning aspect is described here, and were thoroughly cleaned, not just marjana, but sammarjita. Sammarjita means very thoroughly, very deep cleaning. So this aspect of very deep cleaning, to clean the place of the Lord, where the Lord will arrive, is very, very important. I remember there was a opportunity for me to give a class on this topic after we did the Maha cleaning of the temple a couple of months ago, before Janmashtami. So a few sort of excerpts from there, the topic of Gundicha Marjana comes to mind, where all the devotees thoroughly cleansed the Gundicha temple for Lord Jagannath to arrive. And they did a very deep cleaning, very thorough cleaning, led by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And one of the important points was that when one cleans the temple, he throws the dirt. He doesn't just clean the inside of the temple, he even cleans the outside of the temple and till a very long, very great distance, and throws the dirt away very, very far away. So this idea of cleaning the temple, not just the place where the Lord will sit, but to a greater distance than that, is so that the dust, the dirt doesn't come back. So we want not only to clean the place at that time, but we want it to remain clean for a long time. And we keep cleaning periodically. So that is why we want to throw the dirt as far away as possible. And that is representative of all our anarthas, the dirt. And the farther we throw away the anarthas, the lesser is the possibility that the anarthas will come back, or it will take some more time for the anarthas to come back. So we should clean very thoroughly, and we should clean to a great distance and try to throw away the dirt as far as possible, so that the Lord can have a very nice and clean place. The Lord likes a clean place like everybody else. And it's not like, why can't the Lord tolerate the dirt? That is not the point. The dirt, the uncleanliness, is representative of our anarthas, of our desires for sense gratification. The Lord is only looking for love. It is not that he cannot tolerate some dirtiness. He can easily tolerate. And the Lord is very happy. It's not about the material dirt. The anarthas in our heart are our desire for sense gratification. And the more we have those in our heart, our love is divided between those and the Lord. And that is the problem. The more we have the anarthas, the more we have anarthas are what? They are attachments to our sense gratification. They are the anarthas. And in those attachments, or as part of those attachments, we commit sinful activities due to our attachments. All sinful activities, 100% of those are due to our attachments. We can say Dhritarashtra committed many sinful activities. Why is that? Because of his absolutely strong attachment to his sons. If that attachment was not there, there would not have been any sinful activities. So our attachment, our love, our attention is divided between the anarthas, or the cause of the anarthas, our attachments, and Bhagavan. And that is the problem. The topmost kind of bhakti is Ananya Bhakti. Only Lord Krishna, nothing else. Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. So only Krishna, Anukulyena, Krishna Anushilanam. So that is Uttama Bhakti. And that is why we clean. If there is some material dirt, etc., there is no problem at all. The Lord went to Vidura's house. He rejected Duryodhan's offer, which was apparently very much, would have been more clean materially. He had so many servants, and to clean and to polish and to make it very nice and shiny. That is not the point. It's not about the material cleanliness. It is about the cleanliness in our heart. But at the same time, our external cleaning of the temple is representing our internal love for the Lord. So it is not also, it's not okay to say that, oh, I love the Lord very much. I have great love for the Lord. There is ananya bhakti in my heart, but I don't manifest it as anything external. That is like mother saying, I love my child very much, very much. But when he's going to school in the morning, I will not give him his lunch. How does it matter? It's just some material lunch. He can manage on his own. Yeah, of course he can manage. He can eat in the cafeteria or whatever. But if the mother loves the son so much, if she's thinking about him all the time, then it is natural for her to, do whatever is possible. Now, of course, at the same time, if it is not possible for the mother because maybe they are poor, maybe, she has to go early to do a job, the son, a mature son, will understand that. So the Lord understands. But it is up to the devotee to express his or her love in the best possible way. So the cleaning of the city of Dwarka is an expression, the cleaning of the temple, the cleaning of anything, any place where the Lord sits, whether it is our heart, whether it is the temple, whether it is the city, whatever we are cleaning, it is an external expression of our love for the Lord. Recently, we did the graduation ceremony of whatever party or whatever you can call for our son. And my wife was like, ordering all these balloons from Amazon and these decoration things and that. And after like 1 hour or 1.5 hours of the party, I knew it was all going to go in the trash can. And I was asking her, why are you purchasing all this? It's just so much work to put all these balloons and whatever things up. And for just 1 hour, 2 hours, we'll maybe click like, 100 pictures. And then everything will go in the trash. And we won't even look at those pictures very often. So my wife said only one thing. My wife said only a mother will understand. So next life, you should become a mother of a child. So maybe that is true. Arguably, a father's love for the child is lesser than the mother's. So it's not that she didn't understand that all this is just a lot of work. But, there is that internal desire to express that love externally when it is inside. So some people ask, I have seen, I have been asked this question. In festivals, we decorate, we put so much energy into setting up, like in our Janmashtami festival, it's a lot of work in all the areas. To first of all starts with the cleaning of the temple and then decorating, and devotees spending so much time and so much money, so much energy in doing all this beautification, nice decoration, festivities. And this question is asked that why are we spending, just let's take the money part of it. Why do we spend so much money on all this decoration and everything? Why can't that money be spent on, say, feeding hungry people, orphanages, on give it to a hospital, something like that, so to say, noble causes? But celebrating a festival for the Lord is not such a noble cause. It's a waste of money. So why waste money in this way? That question is asked. So yes, I agree, it is a waste of money, waste of time, waste of energy. If that the consciousness of the devotees is material, that, oh, I am decorating this so that I will eat nice prasadam, I will show off to others, see how nicely I have decorated. I will show off that, oh, this is my temple, see how nicely I have done. Or I will show off, or some newspaper will come and put, a article with of this on the headlines with my picture on the side. And those kind of things, if there are any of these kind of material aspirations, then yes, it is better to use the money in some kind of a mode of goodness activity, where we help other um, uh, other fellow beings in need. But if it is our expression for the Lord, for the love that we have in our hearts for the Lord, then it cannot be called as a waste of money. It is my money, it is my time, it is my energy. Like when my wife was doing whatever, that graduation for my son, nobody would dare come and say to her, why are you wasting your money on your graduation party? Why don't you do something else? All these other people, they all celebrate their birthdays, their anniversaries, their whatever. As a country, we celebrate Republic Day, Independence Day, this parade, that parade. It is all there. Now, of course, there may be material motivations behind those, but at least the principle is that it is a celebration of things that we put our heart into, things that we love. So similarly, decorating and beautifying, cleaning the temple is simply an expression of our love for the Lord. It's not for our sense gratification. So if done with the purpose of sense gratification, then it's a complete waste. But if done as a means to express our love for the Lord, as a way to please the Lord, to make the Lord feel happy. My son was very happy after that graduation. He was telling us that last year when we did Gopal's graduation, he was looking forward to when he will have his own stuff, and he feel nice about that. So it is not that it is just the devotees who are happy. The Lord is also happy on receiving that kind of love. There is absolutely no doubt that the Lord becomes thoroughly pleased. The Lord says that I will accept with a lot of love and devotion on my own part the thing that you offer with love and devotion. So the Lord is thoroughly pleased when we offer him, make offerings to him, which are in pure consciousness of love for the Lord. That is the main point. So there is this beautiful verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita and in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu primarily, which is the Sarva Upadhir Vinirmuktam. So I want to just bring that up. Anybody remembers what verse number it is? It's in chapter 19. Anyway, so the verse goes like Sarva Upadhir Vinirmuktam Tat Paratvena Nirmalam Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhaktir Uchyate. So the first line is very, very impactful, which is Sarva Upadhir Vinirmuktam, that first give up all your upadhis, all your sense of proprietorship. Whatever upadhis that we have, whatever little proprietorships that we have, we should give them up. Sarva Upadhir Vinirmuktam, being freed from all the sense of upadhi. Tat Paratvena Nirmalam, and Tat Paratvena, simply for the purpose of serving the Tat of that Lord, Nirmalam, in a very, very devotional, in a very, very uncontaminated way. Tat Paratvena Nirmalam. Rishikena Rishikesha. Rishikesha is the Lord. So Rishikena means to please the senses of the Lord. In that mood, to please the senses of the Lord and to do seva of the Lord, Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate, is called the top level of bhakti. So this is the other definition other than the Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. This is the other definition of bhakti given by Sri Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which has been repeated in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So, yeah. So if we are doing our service to the Lord, whatever, cleaning, beautification, etc., not for any upadhi, but simply for Rishi Kena Rishikesha, for pleasing the senses of the Lord in a very, very devotional way, Nirmalam, Tat Paratvena Nirmalam, in that mood, if we are doing our seva, then that becomes the topmost level of bhakti. And those people who ask this question, why you are wasting money on all the decorations and cleaning and etc., and the time and energy, they will not understand this concept at a mundane level. That how can you serve the senses, or how can you serve some abstract entity like God? What does it mean to please God? I can understand you are trying to please some human being, or even they will understand how to please a dog. I go to Costco these days, the number of the size of the department of pets keeps increasing. All these innovative products I see for the pleasing the pets. Even there is a bed for the pets, and just so many things. There are toys using which the pets can play. So when we can invest so much of our energy and time and money in pleasing our pets, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Definitely, if one has attachment to a pet, one can do that, no problem. The problem I have is when the same people say, why are you doing that for God? And that argument at that point makes it sound very duplicit or very full of hypocrisy. So mundane people who have no realization of God will find this very concept very hard to understand. What does it mean to please the senses of the Lord? The Lord is a real person, the Shastras tell us, and he needs our love. He is desperate. Not only he needs, he is desperate for our love. He is looking for our love all the time. And when we express our maximum love to him, when we don't hold back anything, when the Lord sees, even another human being can see that, yes, this other person is loving me so much, he's giving everything. We usually hold back, but we expect the other person to not hold back. And we are experts in understanding that, yes, is this person holding back? We are always judging. We are very good judges of others. So when we can be good judges of others, is this guy holding back in his love towards me? Then definitely God can also be a good judge, whether we are holding back or not. So when we express our full love with no holding back, then the Lord showers his love, his mercy like anything. There is absolutely no limit to how much loving exchange one can have with the Lord when one gives himself fully to the Lord. Any small service, any menial service, anything we can do, but doing it with great love. So Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, he doesn't need very opulent things. Simple things like here, it's not like very expensive things have been used for decoration. In this verse, at least, it is mentioned, phala, pushpa, ashtaka, ankurai. So fruits, flowers, in previous verses, leaves and all have been mentioned, some flags, etc. But with great love. Great example of there are so many examples of offering things, simple things to the Lord with great love are there in the scriptures. Vidura's wife, she offered banana peels, but with great love, and the Lord thoroughly enjoyed those banana peels. Shabri offered simple berries to Lord Ram. And when the important point is, the Lord is so satisfied with those simple offerings. The other point is, these people who may ask, why are you wasting so much money on these things? Why don't you go build a hospital or do other things for other people? The magical part that they do not understand is that when the Lord gets satisfied, the whole universe gets satisfied. So actually satisfying the Lord is equal to doing what they are saying we should do, but millions and trillions of times over. If we go support a hospital or an orphanage, we will support one hospital. But if the Lord is pleased, all the hospitals of the universe will be satisfied. So at a time and age when there are great devotees present on the planet, the entire planet is happy and satisfied. The reason why we have all these problems today is because there is a scarcity, a very dire scarcity of pure devotees, of devotees who don't hold back anything and give everything to the Lord. If we have more devotees like that on the planet, all the problems of the planet, and of course everywhere in the universe, but at least on this planet, will be solved. There is a beautiful, beautiful verse which shows this, hammers this point home, and it is in the Srimad Bhagavatam. This one I had noted. It is in the 10th canto, another instance of accepting a very simple menial offering is from Sudama Brahmana. He just brought some broken chipped rice, and that too it had become stale. He made a long journey from his village to Dwarka, and with just a small handful of broken chipped rice, and he had tied it in his dirty old dhoti cloth. So, and he was traveling for a long time, many days he traveled. And arguably, if I put my 2 and 2 together, it would have, the rice would have, the chipped rice, it's a dry item. It's not a wet item that it would decay, but still, it was just, dangling in a little bag of cloth for such a long time. So there was arguably, it wasn't the most cleanest, opulent offering. But when Lord Krishna saw that that is the offering that Sudama Brahman had brought, he just jumped and ate it. And let's see what Lord Krishna says when he eats that offering. So here we'll just read the translation. My friend, so Lord Krishna is saying these words, my friend, have you brought this for me? So he's becoming so happy, like as if it is some very, big gift, some huge gift. Is it for me? It gives me extreme pleasure. You can see here the M is with the me is with a capital M. So the Lord is saying this, it gives me extreme pleasure. Indeed, these few grains of flat rice will satisfy not only me, but also the entire universe. So not only the Lord is satisfied, but once the Lord is satisfied, the entire universe is satisfied. So this is such a great Shastra Pramana, evidence from the scripture, directly from the words, from the mouth of Lord Krishna himself, that if he is satisfied, the entire universe is satisfied. Just like at other places in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is described in the 4th canto, if we water the roots of the tree, the whole tree is satisfied. We don't have to water the separate branches. We don't have to go and decorate and clean the hospitals and orphanages. If we do it in service to the Lord with a pure consciousness, sarva upadhir vinir muktam, that is very, very important, and only for the purpose of pleasing the Lord. Tat paratvena nirmalam, with a nirmala seva bhava, for the bhava of rishikena rishikesha, simply to please the senses of Rishikesha, then this what is written here will manifest. And this is direct Shastra Pramana. So, yeah. So I have one more topic that I could cover, but let us see if there is any discussion, any questions, comments, corrections. Okay, so there is another beautiful topic that I wanted to cover, and which has such striking similarity to what we are reading here about the cleaning and decorating the streets with various scents. Gandha jalair, that is the word that is used. The scented water, gandha jala, jala or water that has been infused with some scents or gandha. And this is the pastime of Maharaj Prataparudra, cleaning the streets for the Rath Yatra festival. So this is in Madhya Leela, chapter 13. And we will read a few verses from, we'll go into advanced view. So here we see Tabe Prataparudra kare apane sevana suvarna marjani lana kare patha sammarjana. So we see again this word sammarjana. That's the exact same word that was used in this verse, sammarjita mahamarga. So here sammarjana, not just marjana, not just cleaning, but sammarjana means deep cleaning. And not only deep cleaning here, he was using a suvarna marjani. Suvarna means golden broom, a broom with a golden handle, because he's the king, but he's doing a menial job of cleaning the marga, the path of the path of the Lord, where the cart will, the cart or the rath of Lord Jagannath will pass from. So the translation is, while the Lord was being carried from the throne to the car, the King Prataparudra personally engaged in the Lord's service by cleansing the road with a broom that had a golden handle. So that is one part, cleaning the road with a broom. The king is doing that. The king has thousands and thousands of servants who could do it. But just like a mother, a queen may have, Mother Yashoda, for example, had so many servants, but she would churn the butter personally for her dearmost son, Krishna. Even though the servants could do it, but the love will not be there. The mother wants to do it. Here, the king wants to do it. So it's not like he's wasting his time or anything, like he doesn't have anything better to do. The king has a lot of responsibilities, but this is just his personal expression of love and devotion to Lord Jagannath. And then another aspect is brought out here, which is such strikingly similar. Chandana jalete kare patha nishechane tuchha seva kare vasi raja simhasane. So Chandana jala, here what we had, Gandha jala in our verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. And here a specific ingredient is being mentioned, Chandana, as the scent that was mixed in the jal. Chandan means sandalwood. So here we are talking about sandalwood water, Chandana jala. Kare patha nishechane. The exact same thing is there, that scented water with the sandalwood flavor was being sprinkled on the streets where Lord Jagannath would come. So the translation is, the king sprinkled the road with sandalwood scented water. Although he was the owner of the royal throne, he engaged in menial service for the sake of Lord Jagannath. So very striking similarity to how the residents of Dwaraka were cleaning or preparing for the arrival of Lord Krishna. Here the king Prataparudra was cleaning the street and scenting the streets with water, with scented water, for the arrival of the very same Lord Jagannath, Lord Krishna of Dwarka and Lord Jagannath of Puri are no different at all. Absolutely no difference. He's Jagannath and he's Dwarkadhish. So Jagannath and Dwarkadhish are one and the same. And then just one more verse, two more verses. Although the king was the most exalted, respectable person, still he accepted menial service for the Lord. So we can see here, the king is so strongly demonstrating Sarva Upadhir Vinirmuktam. When he's doing this menial job, he has kept his upadhis completely far away. He has given up his upadhi as a king. Sarva Upadhir Vinirmuktam. He therefore became a suitable candidate for receiving the Lord's mercy. So when the king gives up everything, even all his upadhis and all these things, and gives oneself fully, then one becomes the recipient of Lord's mercy. Upon seeing the king engaged in such menial service, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very happy. Simply by rendering this service, the king received the mercy of the Lord. So this is what one gets. So yes, it is a give and take. Definitely it is a business deal. It is a barter. But it is a spiritual barter, not a material barter. It is a barter of love. It is a business of love. So we can call it a business, but it is a business of the heart. It is a business of love. It is in the spiritual domain. It is not at a material domain. So yes, there is definitely give and take. There is exchange of love. Lord Krishna talks about this. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajami aham bhajamyaham. That is a spiritual give and take. As one surrenders to me with love, Lord Krishna says, bhajami tam tathaiva bhajami aham. I do his bhajan of that person. So doing bhajan and surrendering, ye yatha mam prapadyante, these are not material give and take. This is spiritual or give and take of love. And Srila Prabhupada has a long purport in this, but I think it's 9 o'clock now. So we could read this purport if we had time, but I'll pause here and see if there are any comments or questions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for nicely describing the verse, and you took two things very beautifully. That you talked how the roads were cleaned, thoroughly the city was cleansed before the Lord comes. And the second part about decoration, you given a very nice explanation. And how when you talk about some arjita, cheto darpana marjanam, so you connected that verse very nicely, and you have reminded us of all the beautiful verses, which are related to this verse, like that verse. And also you reminded about the Gundicha temple cleaning for all of us. Thank you so much for that, Prabhu. It was very nice to hear those cleanings. And also you have Narottamadas Prabhu has put that verse number in the chat today, 19.170. So Rushikena Rushikesha Sevanam. So the verse how you go connected with this verse is so nice, Prabhu. How we have to clean our heart internally, not external cleaning. You are talking about by the internal cleaning, how we have to clean, remove all our anadhas from the heart, and how to get connected, invite Krishna into our heart, Because, and moreover, the point you have mentioned is like, how we have to make our heart clean to a long extent, now to, how the Gundija temple was cleansed, outside of the temple also, like that, and thorough cleaning, everyday cleaning is also needed. So that point is really striking me very nicely, Prabhu. So I have to follow that, take out all my anadhas and clean my heart every day. So thank you so much. And also finally, we have read the verses, beautiful, beautiful verses, exact verses, the cleaning up, and also Gandha Jalar verses of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, King Prataprudra, how he was menially serving the Prataprudra Supreme Lord, and how he got the mercy of the Lord. So I understand that if we can become the menial servant of the Lord, then we can always get the mercy of the Lord. And while you also mentioned about Ye Athama Prapadyante verse, So thank you so much for the nicely connecting this verse to the other verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhu, and also Nectar of Devotion, and taken Rishikesh.
Yeah, that is one of the 4 verses to be memorized for, Srila Prabhupada recommends those. It's a very highly quoted verse, Sarva Upadhir Vinirmuktam. Tatpayanam Nirmalam Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate.
Yes, Prabhu. Usually my spiritual master, Rompad Maharaj, also always quotes this verse, Prabhu. So this is a very nice verse to remember always. Thank you so much for connecting very nicely the other verses with this verse and explaining it very nicely, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you for the nice summary. And I also mentioned the verse about Sudama Brahman and what Lord Krishna says. That's also another very important verse that is quoted many times, of how the whole universe is satisfied if Lord Krishna is satisfied.
Yes, and also how Lord Krishna felt, when Sudama offered him broken rice. That verse, it was very nice.
1081:9, very, very important verse.
Yes, Prabhu, that was also very, very nice to hear, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Prabhu, thank you so much for the amazing class, Prabhu. It's very, thank you so much for correcting. As Mataji mentioned, she kind of summarized it in a very, very beautiful way. One thing which I really love is how you connected the cleaning of the highways as an expression of the internal aspect. The external aspect should be manifested. The excellence should manifest based on what's internal. I mean, if as you mentioned about the mother, I love my child, but do not express it by feeding the child, by cleaning the child. So that expression of love is just just words. So it's not be lip service, but as Bhakti Maharaj says, it's not be lip deep, but it should be heart deep. So I think one thing which I really I took one point from here is that if we should have love for Mahaprabhu as Gaudiya Vaishnavas. When we say, we love Mahaprabhu, we love Krishna, but then if we don't chant the holy name, which is what Mahaprabhu loved, then that love, saying that we love Mahaprabhu, is very superficial. So it should be the external manifestation of that love, internal love for Mahaprabhu. If we have love for Mahaprabhu, it should be chanting of the holy name and follow the instruction of the spiritual master. That's what I really, the point which you took to. So thank you so much. Very, very beautiful class.
Thank you. And I can hear Rasaraj wanting to make some comments as well. Very soon. All right. So then we'll stop here, I guess.
Thank you very much. Very nice. I felt thoroughly satisfied and as well assured. Hearing the immense depth of instruction with Bhagavatam just by a seemingly simple verse. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your encouragement. All right. Thank you, all the devotees who are sending the message on chat. Thank you so much. It is my fortune, my great honor to read Srimad Bhagavatam, to share what I have read. There is no better use of time than this activity of reading and sharing and meditating on Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you so much for giving me this privilege, this honor, this opportunity. Thank you. Shri Shintai Satchidanand Dev Bhagwan ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Working class people ki jai.
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 Hare
Thank you so
Krishna.
much, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Shall we close, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, I'll end the call, Prabhu.